Like, regardless, like, I am Katowice is exciting, but like, even before that starts, like, we still have these open cups, and we'll see today who the dominant player is in PvP.
That we will. And is it going to be this player spawning in here in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, and that map being Oxide LE. He is the blue Protoss player, not pink, funnily enough. Blue Protoss player, recently getting picked up by Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is best, if you want to call him. He is Zest.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. We've seen plenty of him already today, plenty of him on this channel. He is representing Good Game Gaming, GGG. It is Patience.
And we're just getting a little bit of updates here in the chat light. Thank you very much, Draz. That Patience apparently 4-1 Zest just a couple of days ago in Alpha X Trovo.
Ooh, interesting, interesting. That could be an advantage, or that could also be a disadvantage, because again, like, if Patience has builds on specific maps, like we saw on Lightshade, and he showed his hand earlier this week against Zest in a show match, then Zest could be a little bit more prepared.
Definitely could. And also apparently Zest was hungover? Question mark. I mean, it was Lunar New Year. So
that could
be very possible.
That could be accurate, or it could just be a joke as the explanation as to why he lost. But yeah,
I mean, it's a convincing joke. Honestly, Lunar New Year was pretty recent.
Turns out
what's happening?
Zest was hanging out too much with the Peruvian Terrans, and he just got hungover. Oh god, but we'll see. We'll see.
Zoom call with him.
If Zest does lose here, there's no more excuses about being hungover.
Well, you never know. Again, there are 15 days of Lunar New Year, like
every day, man. Even during Katowice, he's gonna be drinking. Just
every day.
It's gonna be absolutely hammered. As the game is starting off, and so far we've just nothing too crazy, no proxies, both just annoying each other, delaying their naturals.
Yes, I would say doing a little bit of a better job, or he's definitely dealing with this quicker. Able to get that natural quite a bit earlier than Patience will. Interesting pylon here for Zest. I just wanted Zest to get a Dark Shrine now, honestly. Go straight for the Dark Shrine, warp in from there, it's over.
That's the scary thing. Warp Gate is almost done. I wouldn't go as far as to say a Dark Shrine, but regardless, once Warp Gate finishes, he can just slow warp in an Adept, or maybe even two if this goes unscattered even further, as Patience still has no idea this pylon is in his base.
And he does not. He's even going for Blink. Which, when you prioritize Blink this early in a PvP, you're probably getting Robo Base shortly after, aren't you?
You would assume so. You would assume so. Just, you know, to be aggressive out on the map. Oh my god, speaking of DTs!
I wanted Zest to do this, but Patience is actually the one to fulfill my sick fantasy.
It wasn't a fantasy, it was a nightmare.
It was a precognition, a premonition.
There we go. As we do have the Dark Shrine on the way with this proxy pylon, a gateway being thrown as well, just to warp in that much faster across the map. Meanwhile, Zest does manage to slow warp in a couple of Adepts here, looking to deal some economic damage to Patience.
And gonna be just enough for him to start one-shotting these probes, and Patience doesn't really have a lot back at home here. I think he has a Stalker, so if he could just, you know, try to get in the way of that, prevent Zest from one-shotting or target firing these probes, then he's going to be looking pretty good. But, this is already a pretty bad start right now for Patience. Very nice warp-in block, but even still, 5 probes this early on. Especially considering Zest has the natural a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to hold this economic advantage for quite a while. It's going to be a lot better now if that Patience got the Dark Shrine, though.
I was about to say that this puts a lot more pressure on Patience, on his DTs, to deal more economic damage, because as we can see, Patience is down over 20 workers. He needs to make something happen. The Dark Shrine does finish up, and there we go. The DT is being morphed in.
Yeah, 2 of them even. One for each mineral line.
There's no
Zest,
detection.
there is no detection. There's no way for him to get detection, but he did fully wall off.
Can he force field? Does he notice? Oh, right, it is a full wall off.
It's fully walled off, yeah.
Wow.
And only one of these ETs can attack at a time. Now his row facility is halfway done. I feel like Zest just takes this game. Well, unless Patience can bust his way through and then take out, depower the row facility. Very good force field here for Zest. Whatever he can do to slow down Patience here. He just needs to buy himself time to get that observer out.
The thing is that clock is ticking, right? Like there it is. The robo does finish. The observer is already on the way. The DTs, they cannot get on top of those pylons. Beautiful force fields there by Zest.
I think this is gonna be it. I think Patience can still try to stay in this game, but he is down so many workers. His harass has not gotten much done, or anything done now.
Yeah,
he's getting a couple of buildings, which, I mean, I guess that isn't bad, but
yeah, honestly,
he had to kill Zest with DCTs.
Like, now Zest has 0 gateways. Finally, a gateway finishes, so he can warp in. Yeah. He can warp in a couple more units, and he does full wall off as well, kind of scared by what his opponent is doing. And as all this was happening, like, Patience was probing up, like, he is attempting to get back into this game. Pretty nasty supply block, though.
Yeah, it is absolutely huge. And he's going to continue to make use of those DTs this time as Archons. Unfortunately, doesn't have a rope facility, so he won't be able to Archon drop with them. But even still, they're a pretty nice unit to have if you know your opponent's going to be, particularly aggressive.
Oh yeah,
have that splash damage on you.
And that's exactly what Zest is looking to be, as he is finishing up his extra gateways. We do have 4, 5 already. We have 2 more on the way, and with this War Prism that's going to be coming out for Zest, he's looking to go across the map and attempt to win the game. Meanwhile, Patience going for a third.
Okay, very bold risk that Patience taking over here, but he kind of has to, right, to catch up economically.
Oh yeah. And
absolutely the advantage that Zest has, the army's gonna miss.
This is risky. Best case scenario for Patience, he forces Zest to go back home. He needs to buy time for this third base, and he needs to hit now. He's taking far too long, I think. Oh, okay, Zest does turn around.
Nicely done here.
Oh god.
And Patience kind of sandwiched at the moment. Does have Blink, can try to utilize that to the best of his ability. The Archons are getting a little bit exposed. Stalkers are not the best buffer you can really have for them, as they do outrange the Archons quite a bit.
Yeah, that they do.
Want to keep them in the backline, funnily enough.
Oh god, Patience, he blinks forward. He does focus down the Immortal, but there are just so many Stalkers here for Zest.
It is going to be it. Look at that army supply difference. Patience is going to try to stick it out with his blinks, but not going to be enough. GG's called. Zest taking game number 1 as best of 5 series.
Oof. GG, and it's just so unfortunate what really hurt Patience that game, because honestly a lot was going well for both players, but that pylon in the main,
I still wish that Zest went for the Doctrine earlier on and warped in DTs instead of Adepts, but those Adepts actually did so much damage. It put Patience on the perpetual back foot. This isn't... Hold on. Yeah, just doing a little bit of investigation here. Or not investigation, but clearing things up here.
Yep. I will... I will message the admins as we are getting ready. But yeah, I noticed because he did not have that Home Story Cup portrait.
Yeah, we've been having trouble quite a bit lately, particularly in ESL Asia, of basically fake casters coming in to get a little bit of an event, sort of bypass the 2-minute delays that casters are meant to have, and they're doing that for the purposes of betting, which obviously not something that ESL wants to, be not something ESL wants to be, what's the word I'm thinking of here, like associated with. So Belair, the real Belair, did come in today, and he told us how to verify that it's actually him. And yeah, this particular caster did not meet that, or observer rather, did not meet that criteria. But regardless, we are continuing on Lightshade LE. We're here in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. The blue Protoss player coming down for the land of Korea. He is going to be representing his new team, Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is best. He is very good at defense and also offense. If game number 1 is anything to go off of, he is Zest.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He is red, representing his new team, Good Game Gaming, GGG. It is Patience. And as we do get into this series, I do want to quickly answer someone in the chat, as you are also going for it yourself. We can do it on stream.
You do it for the 2-minute delay.
Yeah, Maru, if you're wondering where he's been, in general, he stays away from online events. He typically only shows up for things like for major events or premier tournaments. And as you said, he has had a bit of an injury.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but very thankfully his team is aware of that and has been rehabilitating it or providing as much as it could for his rehabilitation as possible. And going into Lightshade, I knew Patience was going to go for the row facility once again, but I think so did Zest. Scouts that pylon.
Yep. Zest did scout the pylon. Zest is aware of the proxy next to his own proxy, and Patience is unaware of the proxy of Zest.
That he is, but I'm sort of... Okay, we'll have a bit of a 50-50 with how Paving goes right now, because there are 2 ways for Patience to move to rally this this row facility, and one of them will meet the gateway. Thankfully for Zest, though, gateway units come out a lot quicker than robo units.
So as you can see by the path of Zest's gateway, he's going to chrono out or get out a stalker. It's going to come out and it should depower this robo before the robo can come into play. Patience needs to try and defend it. Unfortunately, because he's unaware of this proxy, he's going across the map with his units and he won't be there for that pylon. Oh boy. Aye. And I have to assume that Patience went for this proxy against Zest earlier this week. That's why he's so familiar with it.
That or Zest is a precog. And I was thinking that, you know, maybe with the adepts that Patience got, then he would be able to force Zest to come back. But again, this is how quick gateway units can get out. And just immediately depowering and taking out his row facility, actually. Patience on the perpetual back foot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he can't really do too much. Like, there are just so many stalkers on the side of Zest. Like, he does have 3 gate production at the moment, so Patience is forced back home. It's kind of the opposite of the game where Patience was up against Nice on Romanticide, where Patience was being the aggressor, and now he's forced to stay on one base.
And I will say that a little bit of a silver lining for Patience, though, was that his proxy got cut out early on. So honestly, if he transitions out from here, he wouldn't be too disadvantaged. In fact, he's only behind by 2 workers at the moment. He doesn't have to worry about the army difference. Zest can still be very aggressive. Patience is not giving up on proxying.
Nope. As soon
this
as
is Lightshade, he has to proxy.
Yeah, as soon as the robo went down, Patience sent a probe over to the upper right-hand side of the map. We do see a gateway on the way, so he's looking to be as aggressive as possible with his own stalkers, meanwhile also shutting down the proxy of Zest.
Okay, just preventing any reinforcements from Zest if he does decide to be aggressive here. Just buying himself some time as he transitions out, but funnily enough, Zest can be the first player to take a natural.
Exactly, and Patience scouts it. He goes in with his adept, with his shade, and he does confirm that Zest is expanding, so we'll see if Patience goes for his own expansion, or if that's kind of the trigger. That's like, ooh, okay, he's focusing on his economy, I'm gonna commit to the one base all in.
As a wise man once said, why would you expand in PvP? And Patience, he's part of that school of thought, it seems.
And what's very important is that Zest just scouted. He saw that there's no natural. He saw that there's 3 gateways and a Twilight Council, so he has to assume Blink Stalkers are what's coming his way, and he needs to muster a defense.
And a pretty good defense he already has. The shield battery already in position. Doesn't quite have an overcharge yet, and Patience taking advantage of that, taking out as many of these units as he can while he can. Decent blinks coming out from Patience over here. But now the Nexus has finished up. Shield battery is available. and Patience not dealing enough damage here. Bruised the army quite a bit, but that's not going to win him the game.
Yeah, he honestly dealt quite a big blow to Zest. Like, there was so much DPS that it didn't even matter that there was a shield battery. He can one-shot, so it doesn't even matter if there's an overcharge, but there's still a couple more units here for Zest.
And he's picking off a decent number of the army. If he does this a couple more times, then he's gonna snowball. Zest did finish Rogue Facility earlier on, but I guess his mind is a little occupied right now, not working on Immortal. I think Patience is gonna take this now.
Exactly, every single Stalker is being focused down for Zest, and as you said, there's no there's no Immortal coming out right now. It's just pure Stalker, and he's gonna lose everything.
That he is. He's got to be kicking himself right now. Actually, I don't think he has enough gas for it. GG's call. Patience coming back to this series, tying it up sideways 2-2.
And that's why, in a PvP, if you expand, you die.
That you do. Patience so far, light shade, 100% win rate. Gotta point that out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even though Zest saw the proxy and shut it down, it didn't even matter because Patience had a backup plan.
He did. That was probably part of his dream. No, he woke up after that nightmare, went back to sleep, and the continuation of that was just Zest.
Oh my god, what a game. As we are getting into the next game, that is the real Bel Air.
This is okay. Yeah, because you can't get the portrait anymore, can you?
No, you cannot. You cannot.
All right. Okay. I was kind of worried for a while that what happens if the guy just buys the portrait, but you can no longer get the Home Story Cup portrait, which can be a little bit unfortunate. But this is, I think he ended up getting yeeted out anyway. So.
Well, I don't know if he left of his own volition or if
he might have. Yeah,
because I know he was casting the upper series, as the upper semis is currently going on.
Okay. Let's see, what is that? As I refresh your bracket. Hurricane versus not Hurricane versus Dream. But regardless, we are continuing this semifinals here in the lower side of the bracket. Currently tied up sideways 1-1. Both players need to win 2 more games to advance to that finals. And it's all going to come down here to the Death Aura in the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner of the map. The blue Protoss player, very vigilant with scouting, but he's going to have to be doing that doubly this time, as he is representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. We have Zest.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He is red. He is representing Good Game Gaming GGG. It is Patience.
Almost.
Oh, we almost got it.
Almost getting the.
Ah!
Oh, he's not giving up. He knows you're watching. He knows you're casting.
He knows. He knows how to play out a PvP.
He does. Well, he tried, but Patience, it's a little bit too wise for letting that happen.
Yeah, Zest needs to tune into the live VIP stream. He needs to.
How did you come and jive him even better?
Exactly. What you do is you go in first, then you walk away, you pretend like you're not interested, and then you go back. So that's how you do it. Oh god, but regardless, some nice moves coming out from Zest. A little bit unfortunate he didn't quite manage the gas steal, but yeah, I appreciate the attempt.
Yeah. It was a good effort. He almost got it, but yeah, Patience, has a bit too much experience. It's happened to him one too many times.
That it did. As we are getting into the swing of things this time, so far no proxy coming out from either player, and you were touching on it previously, but the upper semifinals is ready. It looks like the Terran got your energy as a Dream did 2-1 Hurricane.
Ooh, Ooh.
And he's
Actually,
currently...
Yeah, 2-1 is maybe about what I expected.
Yeah.
Wiz, one of the better PvP players from South Korea, I would say.
And now Dream is up against Stats in the upper semis.
A completely different beast. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. But of course, enough about that. That is the upper semis that is currently going on, currently being casted by the other language streamers, and I believe Pig himself, if you do want to tune into that. TVP. Meanwhile, we have ourselves this PvP.
That. Yeah, the PvT has one too many non-Protoss players, Light. I'm glad we're here in the lower semis.
Exactly. And once again, Patience, like, sure, he's trying to be distracting, and ooh, he actually gets into the main with his Adept.
Okay, getting a pretty good scout off. Might be able to get at least 2 probes here. Might get another one. Oh, a little bit too far away there for Patience. But yeah, just continue to proxy. Or is he? Okay, he's keeping the probe there, but I mean, he's already got a robo facility. This might just be a spotter pylon.
Yeah, it looked like maybe, depending on what he saw, he could throw down a gateway and start to reinforce. But as we see, okay, he's just slow warping in.
He's slow warping in? Huh.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Why not? I always gotta appreciate the Haluk Oracle. You know, make Zest have a little bit of a panic. It's much more common to have hallucinated Phoenix, so he might think this is legitimate. Not falling for it anymore, though.
Yeah, he doesn't fall for it.
Did not pull any of his probes, which is admirable.
Did not flinch whatsoever. What's a little bit scary is that we have 2 Adepts coming out here, and even if they get blocked, they can just focus on one of these sentries.
That they can, or continue to just focus down more and more probes. Patience, he remembers game number 1.
That he does.
He's just saying, you know what? I gotta take your probes. How about them potatoes?
The turns have tabled. Drones have gone down on the side of Zest. Patience does have that slight worker lead, as Patience is slowly working on that immortal count.
Yeah, he's also looking a lot better tech-wise. Much quicker rogue facility here. Zest is going for a forge. So he's going to be very aggressive with his Blink Stalkers.
Oh yeah, he's going to be going for that +1 Blink. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going for this Robotics facility just for the Warp Prism, just to be aggressive across the map.
It's got to be what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on the amount of gateways that get thrown down, because at the moment Zest still only has 2 gates. So he's gonna need a couple more if he wants to go across the map and deal that damage. Instead, he may be looking to expand and take a 3rd.
Huh.
Yeah. And I feel like that's
forge question mark.
I feel like, because he's still working on that +1, right? Like, he's still working on his. Okay, there we go. 2 more gateways are being thrown down, so he does have 4 in total. There it is. He's throwing down some psych defense as Patience is moving out through the center of the map.
He knows what's coming for him. Hallucinates a Warp Prism just to draw the attention away. But again, I don't think Zest is gonna fall for it.
Yeah,
I mean, he sees a real one.
Yeah, he saw the real one.
But he will focus. And he will focus on that one just as a bit of precaution. Now, a +1 is still quite a ways off here for Zest, but I tell you what, he will get Blink a lot quicker. So we'll see how he's able to utilize that.
That we will, since he doesn't have Blink quite yet. No, never mind. Blink did just finish up, so this Warp Prism has to be careful. Like, at any moment, Zest could just pounce on it.
Yeah, he needs to keep them far behind enemy lines. Or his own lines, rather. And he's gonna have to keep him far in the back line, that's what I mean.
That he will. Ooh,
another one.
Yeah, another Haluk. Again, we'll see if he does end up tricking Zest and does force him away as a 2nd Immortal joins.
That it will. Only a single Immortal at the moment for Zest. But again, as time goes on, that +1 gonna get closer and closer to completing.
And once again, Zest doesn't fall for it. He chips away. He's like, nah, mate.
I'm not even gonna dignify that Haluk by killing it.
Exactly. You can see whatever you want, mate. I'm just gonna let you know that I know what you are.
A phony.
As I like this a lot. Again, this is the Patience that we are only recently seeing. Like, previously, a Patience that we know and love would just try and break this natural and just do whatever he can to knock it down. But this Patience expands.
Actually living up to his name. Never
boy.
thought I'd see today.
He's growing up.
It really is.
God, we're gonna be sending him off to GSL college soon.
We're gonna be sending him off to the military at some point.
Oh no, don't say that's too real.
Soon.
Oh god. Alright, well, both players are looking to expand. Zest is finally looking to push out. So far it looks like just to clean up, you know, the surrounding pylons, then just kind of chilling and expanding. And he's the first to tech towards disruptors.
Okay, getting a little bit more familiar here when it comes to the metagame of PvP. Going for Blink Disruptors.
Okay, interesting.
One of the most potent compositions for Protoss, but also one that is very tricky to pull off.
Yeah, it is. It's very micro-intensive. I mean, both players have Blink, so they can avoid the shots, but of course, Disruptor shots, they can just aim for the Immortals. The Immortals being so much more immobile.
And we kind of see that here. One of them getting blocked by the Force Field here of Zest. Patience already immortal down from what he previously had. He's trying to multi-prong this.
That he
Will
is
shade into the main base. Oh, right on top of Warpin. But I tell you what, like, a Warpin back in the main is a Warpin not here in the third.
Exactly, it's not here to help defend. Meanwhile, we do have Hallucinated Colossus and Immortals joining the fray. The Disruptor shot does go off, and it's going to go off. Oh!
He got sniped just a little bit too quickly, and it's hard to tell who's getting the better end of this. Patience has more Immortals, but Zest has a bit of a better arc. The Warpism did get taken out. Patience does not have a lot of sustainability here. Meanwhile, the Zealots from back home, or not the Zealots, sorry, the Stalkers from back home. Not yeah. Stalkers from back in the main base do make their way into the third. And it looks like Patience will hold this for now, taking out a lot of probes and really badly bruising the army of Zest. I mean, that was a lot of high-tech units taken out from Zest. Whereas Patience still has his Immortals.
Exactly. It was so key that Zest was able to take out that War Prism. If he didn't, then most likely Patience would have been able to snowball and just end the game. As we did see that he came out ahead in that engagement, but he just couldn't reinforce across the map. And with that, Zest is able to defend and does push him away, not without losing quite a number of workers though.
Yeah, losing 10 workers. He's once again getting behind here on Patience in the probe count. But he's remaking his disruptors.
That he is. And
be careful not to get them blinked again on, though.
Exactly. We do have another War Prism coming in from Patience. Patience looking to get into the main base.
And I think he just about will. It takes a little bit too long for us to come back here. But the SimCity can definitely work in his favor here. There will be positions where it's going to be so awkward for Patience to split or blink away from the Purification Novas, just like so. One Immortal already getting taken out. And Patience has to be so careful. That is essentially the backbone of his army right now.
That it is. Only one Immortal left. The War Prism goes down again.
I think Blink is on cool. Massive Nova. And just like that, Patience has lost his advantage.
Oh my god, not just the advantage, that could be it, mate. The supply plummets for Patience, losing every single one of his robo units. And now he has to try and tech. Now he has to try and go into charged up Archon, but he doesn't have anything ready for that.
That he does not. Zest, he still wants to take this a little bit cautiously. He wants to recover from the initial assault from Patience. But doing so is going to be so much better for him anyway. He's already working on his +2 and just getting more and more disruptors out. By the time either of them start moving across the map, Zest is going to have such a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly, like especially with that second robo, that means we're going to get double disruptor production. He already has 4 to begin with. It's going to be so difficult for Patience to engage into this army. The chargelots will definitely help as they do kind of get on top of Zest's army, and it's a little bit awkward to try and nova those. But like regardless, Patience, like he needs to tech up in some kind of way. We still don't see like a way to get out High Templar or DT to morph into Archons. He's still relying on Blink, Stalker, Immortal, and Chargelots.
Yeah, which is a little bit of a halfway army, if you know what I mean.
It's just like the Immortals
it's like
are just
half
such
of what you want for your endgame army.
Yeah, like the Immortals are just such big targets for the disruptor shots. Like I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, when your opponent has like 1 or 2 disruptors, you can get away with this by just trying to target them down as quickly as you can before the Purification Nova connects. But by the time they have what 4, 6 I think is what Zest has at the moment, it becomes that much trickier.
Definitely, definitely. So he does back off. We do see that Patience is taking up in that direction and expanding as well. So again, he's going to try and elongate this as long as possible so he can catch up. I like this. You know, he's going for a couple of run bys, but again, Zest, he is kind of all over the place with his third and his fourth.
Really is defending both of them beautifully. Even spending some of his extra minerals on static defense.
Ooh, and we used a word earlier to describe Patience, you know, like a calculated move that he did earlier. Honestly, I like the Stargate. Triple Stargate.
That's why, honestly, wow, that's dedicated.
Wow.
Now it's starting to worry me a little, like, because Patience, he's gonna have to buy himself so much time to get that endgame Skytoss army that can, you know, very efficiently counter Zest, and especially with that many Stalkers. I don't think Zest is going to give him that time, or will he? He's also going for a Stargate and waiting on his +3.
He is going for that Stargate, but only one, right? So Patience will kind of, at the moment, he's aggressively expanding as well. Like, he's taking so many risks right now in terms of tech, in terms of economy. If he can get away with this, if he can buy time with this War Prism, then he can get away with it, and he can get ahead in that respect. Oh god, the War Prism!
Ooh. Goes down with 2 Immortals. That is absolutely painful. That might just be what Zest... That might just be the initiative Zest needs to decide, you know what, I'm going to go across the map. You can't have too much army with you now. It's going to end the game.
Aye, that's what I'm thinking as well. I just don't know if these Skytoss units are going to come into play here, because Zest is pushing out of the map. He does have the supply advantage.
It takes so long to get Stargate units out. Like, he's even going for carriers, which even with the chrono boost is gonna take quite a while.
It will, but Zest isn't being assertive. Like, he isn't being aggressive. Like, he's expanding as well. So Zest is giving Patience time, and Patience, like, he has the faster production. Like, he will get these carriers out faster than Zest can, and that's gonna be like what he's gonna be relying on, and he's getting away with this.
So, Light, when you looked at his bracket at the start today, you know, when we were deciding who to go for, when we were looking at our players, did you think we were going to get carrier versus carrier? No less than Zest versus Patience.
God, no, I did not expect this, and I just love the way that Patience, he was so behind earlier, but because of how passive Zest has been, Patience has just taken full advantage of Zest right now with his faster expansions, with all of this tech, and now the carriers are out. Like, Patience will have a bit of a better army, but they are engaging.
The purification was don't connect to the disruptor. Zest, he took such a risk, leaving his disruptor so exposed, and Patience taking full advantage of that. There were so many moments before this, like, where Zest really could have tried to cripple Patience. And honestly, he still kind of can try to, but as you said, he's just continuing to be passive. And Patience, not only is he getting the quicker carrier production, he got a bunch more cyber cores. He's getting the better upgrades too.
Yeah, he's working on, he's already got his upgrades. He's working on flyer attack and defense. And I will say that because of that blunder from Zest, because of that big loss that he just had with the disruptor shots, I don't think Zest can end the game here. And I think Patience is slowly gonna work up with that army supply, in that more effective army supply, as Zest, he's just really struggling to do anything with this ground army. Oh my god.
Starting to take out his own units here to make room for more carriers.
Yeah.
So whatever you need to get done.
Whatever it takes.
Honestly, like, it's kind of a meme, you know, peak PvP, quote unquote, when you try to see Protoss players do the craziest things imaginable, but this is the flip side of that. That's equally as rare. In fact, I want to say it's even rarer.
Oh yeah, like you almost
PvP.
You almost never get to see it, and we do see Zest is a little bit out of position. There's a shot, oh!
Beautiful Nova coming out here from Patience. Unfortunately, Blink is off cooldown, so he's not able to really follow that up, but the carriers are here looking to continue to reinforce.
Exactly.
Zest at the moment will have the bigger army, but I don't know, like, Patience, he's building up that carrier count.
Exactly, the carriers have arrived. To be fair, Patience has to be so careful. He has to keep his disruptors alive. He has to make sure he doesn't allow Zest to blink forward and pounce on top of these carriers.
Exactly, that's going to be his buffer. I mean, the Zelts will try to get something done. But try is, I think, the key word over there.
Exactly, and as you said, like Patience does have the upgrade advantage currently with both of those cyber cores. Oh god!
Position! Oh. One carrier will already go down. These are expensive units, like, you don't want to be losing them unnecessarily. Like, does split off at the last second, doesn't lose as much as he could. Patience doesn't, and will get a really good purification over his loan, but he's already starting to lose a lot of these carriers.
Yeah, exactly.
Having the better upgrades.
At the end of the day, Zest has more stalkers and he has the better control. He's able to snipe 3 carriers, and with that, Zest does take the carrier lead. Oh, to be fair, like now that he's across the map, Patience does have defender's advantage, but oh god, he's being zoned out.
And he's hitting the Archons. He is starting to get zoned out, and I'm really liking the Archons here for Patience. They can deal with the interceptors so well. But at the end of the day, is it the interceptors you're worried about, or is it the Blink Stalkers?
Exactly. Now Patience, you already sniped 1 carrier, 2 goes down, almost a third goes down as well.
Everything's getting attacked light. Everything's going down on Patience's side of the map.
And in the end, Patience, he was able to defend.
Yeah, I feel blessed that we're actually able to see this.
Oh my god,
it's so rare.
It is, and Void Rays are coming in here. I'm not too sure if they were like a misclick or something, but okay, they're here as well.
I mean, gives you a little bit of the edge if you're able to target down the carriers, I guess.
I guess so. Ooh, Zest, though, he does outmaneuver his opponent. All these swords are gonna be hitting this base on the right hand side.
That's a major weakness of carriers in it. They're so immobile. It's going to take a while before Patience can make it to the side of the map and try to defend that base. In fact, he's not even able to.
Exactly.
Base will go down. Patience is expanding the other direction, which definitely helps. So he's not too far behind, but yeah, Zest is continuing to build up a bank, and Patience, I mean, he's kind of spent his bank.
That he has, and Patience is trying to clean up this army, but Zest, he's trading so efficiently. 2 of the Void Rays already going down, focusing down the Disruptor as well, and he does get it.
Yeah, honestly, it's really good for Patience to be able to deal with these Stalkers, but behind this, what is Zest getting instead of those, you know? He's kind of looking to sort of spend up his supply to get more carriers out. That's
the thing. That was a lot of lost zealots. Lost stalkers for Zest. He is remaking them, but he has nowhere near as high a count as he did before, and that's the unit that he was using to snipe those carriers.
He does have more carriers now, though, which, to be fair, he's up against 3 Archons, so interceptors aren't going to be able to get too much done with that amount of splash damage. 5 Archons, actually.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, like with all these Archons, it's hard to imagine too many interceptors really doing much here. Ooh, Zest does come out with a couple more disruptors there.
You know what this reminded me of, Light? This reminded me of PvZ, actually. Vipers versus High Templar, specifically. You know, the Vipers want to yoink the units before the Templar before the Templar get the feedbacks off. It's a similar thing here. Zest wants to take out the Archons before they kill a bunch of interceptors. Patience wants those interceptors to come into his Archons.
Ooh. And speaking of,
honestly, can't tell who's getting the upper hand.
Yeah, 2 disruptors of Zest do go down. The Archons are standing strong for Patience, but the Stalkers dribbling forward, trying to focus down the Stalkers. Sorry, the carriers.
Carriers, I think they will. Despite losing all of those interceptors, Zest, he still has the main units that he needs to take out the main units of Patience. And finally, Light, I think we're getting to GG. 21 minutes! Who thought a Patience game could go this long?
I didn't even think Patience knew it could go that long. And in the end, Zest does come out on top with his beautiful Stalker control. He overwhelms the army.
GG is called. Zest, we're taking this back to what we talked about before the series started. If Zest can survive long enough to get to that late game, absolutely 100%. He's favorite versus Patience. You know, Patience, he has been working on his big game. He's been looking very good there. But when it comes to the late game, he's still a couple yards short of somebody like Zest.
Yeah, just a bit. Like, Patience, he did such a good job getting himself back into the game from such an awful position. But at the end of the day, like, he was behind to begin with, like, losing so much of his units. And, yeah, like, Zest was able to hang on to that.
I will say, though, Patience should have been dead a long time before 21 minutes, so really good on him to keep himself alive for that long, and he was taking a lot of risks that ended up paying out for him.
Oh yeah.
In the end, Zest, though, with a little bit better control and honestly a better unit composition overall in the end. I love the idea of the Archons being able to take out the interceptors as they come to you, but in the end of the day, that's not the damage dealer for Zest. It's all about the Blink Stalkers. And speaking of Blink Stalkers, here we are on Romanticide LE. LE, of course, standing for Lovers Entanglement. Lovers Entanglement. That's what happens when you go carriers versus carriers, I imagine. In the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, the blue Protoss player coming out from the land of South Korea. He is known as the best. He is known for his late game. He is the blue Protoss player. I think I already said that. Representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Zest.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He is red. He is representing Good Game Gaming, GGG. Looking to prove himself as one of the best PvP players out there. But down 1-2 in this best of 5. Can he bring it back? It is Patience.
Now, we're going to have a bit of a wager. Will Patience go for a proxy again?
Oh, yeah. Look at him go.
Gate again.
Look at him go, mate. He's
zooming. He's zipping around.
Oh, God. We'll see. We'll see if he does.
He's not going for the standard gateway position this time.
Yeah.
Which I think it's going to work out for him.
I do like this because, as you said, it's less obvious. This is the obvious place, you know, on the other side of the minerals. And I imagine Zest is going to check there. We do see Zest is throwing out his second pylon out in the center of the map. I think this is more of just, you know, just not having it in the main base sort of pylon. Yeah. Just to deceive his opponent.
And it does also help. And it does also help because you do sometimes see in PvP, you know, some of the units do get rallied towards that southern third base, as opposed to the northern one.
Yeah.
Not going to be the case this time, unfortunately, but, you know.
Yeah, regardless, like, his pylon is there, so Patience does have that in the back of his mind when he goes in. He's like, hey, the pylon's missing, it's not here. Maybe there is a proxy out there somewhere. He, of course, knows that he himself does have a proxy out there.
And, exactly, and Patience doesn't care.
Yeah.
If there's a proxy out there for Zest.
Oh boy, and we'll see if Zest is able to find this because he has not gone around to scout. If there was a proxy here on the outside of the minerals, then Zest would have no idea about it. He's checking.
He would not. Oh, yeah, Zest taking a bit of a cautious rally this time, and he will go for the robo. You cannot blindside Zest. He couldn't do it in light shade. Well, he did eventually, but that was a different story.
It's a second robo.
Going for him. Why?
Will this pay off?
This is so expensive.
Like, Zest found the proxy. There's no way that Zest is going to go up the ramp, right? Right?
Potentially?
Will he turn around?
I mean, credit to Patience. Because this is very expensive, Zest probably doesn't suspect
He's crossing his fingers right now. He's like, turn around. He turns around.
He turns around. Zest, he thought Patience was reformed. He thought that Patience wouldn't take such an expensive gamble like this. But no. Patience,
I love it.
He's still a little bit unhinged.
It's such a big brain play. Look at his big brain. It's massive. It's exciting. It's throbbing right now. It's got all the grooves it needs. As Zest thinks that he has shut down the proxy and he thinks he's pretty safe right now. He's looking to even go across the map with his Warp Prism. It could give an opportunity for a kind of strange game.
What is the complete opposite end of a smooth brain? Because I feel like that's what Patience has.
It's like it's a square.
It's such a crumpled
square. It's like it's just misshapen in every way. It's just like sandpaper. It's rugged. It's just.
But you know what? Just like sandpaper, it appears smooth until you zoom in. But Zest is aware of this. Zest is one level ahead of sandpaper. Like.
Look at that. Look at that. Zest. He double checks. He makes sure he finds the proxy robo. He's now fully aware of what is happening. He did go for the expansion, which is kind of scary. You know, investing in that Nexus. It will finish up. Will he have enough to defend? Where are the shield batteries?
And Patience honestly has a very, very scary army. The shield batteries are not going to be out in time. And Zest, he just evacuates that base. Not even going to bother. He knows what he's up against.
That he does. We'll see how much time Patience wastes here, and he doesn't waste any time. He immediately starts focusing on the pylon on top of the ramp. Depowers the gates!
Beautifully done over here by Patience. I thought that Warp Prism looked a little exposed, but it ended up being kind of fine. The Warp Prism was, after all, in range of the rest of the units here for Patience. He has to be so careful. Patience! You don't want to lose your immortal here, buddy.
Oh my god, you do not. A bit of move command there as well by Patience. A little bit of a blunder. He does take a bunch of free shots there, and he is forced down to the natural.
The absolute last place that Patience wants to fight. And now things are looking better and better for Zest.
Oh my god, they are. And I mean, Zest will lose the Nexus, so we're on one base to one base, but I think Zest is okay, especially with these sentries from force fields, especially with more shield batteries going up.
Yeah, well, we might lose more infrastructure, which is definitely going to be a problem. This is a very nice position for the Warp Prism to be. Again, Zest can try to focus that down, but if he does so, then he's exposing his stalkers to so many units, and once stalkers go down, Patience gonna have the initiative.
Oh, yes, he can, and he has to be so careful not to be caught out by these force fields. What's important, this is the last gateway for Zest, and it's going to go down.
Yeah, beyond that, it's purely going to be immortal production for Zest, which is a very good unit, but it takes a while to get him out. I like that Zest is taking a bit of a risk and trying to tech into the Robo Bay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one Purification Nova, that's really all he needs, but we'll see if that comes into play.
This is a massive risk. We do see Patience. He's trying to get a scout. He does go around the edge of the base, and he does spot the Robotics Bay.
Now, how does Patience go from here? He's backing away.
Yeah.
Continuing the trend of Patience actually living up to his name, and yeah, transitioning. He's going to have quite the advantage here. The only thing he's behind on compared to Zest is tech.
Exactly.
That's kind of fine. You can get away with not having the Robo Bay for a while in the PvP.
Well, it's a little bit scary because, like, this is a pretty fast disruptor. So if Zest is aggressive with this, like, he can deal some damage. Like, he can swing things in his favor if Patience is on top of his micro, on top of avoiding it. Meanwhile, we do see the Immortals of Patience are sneaking in to the main of Zest.
Yeah, and they should at least be able to depower this row facility. Again, the only row facility of Zest at the moment, and since he did go for disruptors, just halting the production is really key right now for Patience. He's buying himself so much time. He's going to have the economic advantage, and as long as he techs up quick enough, he's gonna be having the upper hand in this game.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the tech because there it is. Finally, the Twilight Council has been done for a while. We do see Blink on the way. Because of the scout earlier, because Zest went for a Robotics Bay, there is no Twilight Council. So Patience feels safe to do this because he knows Zest does not blink. Like if the micro is perfect, Patience shouldn't lose this Warp Prism.
Warp Prism is gonna meet.
How
cute.
They're waving to each other.
Back away from you now. They really are.
Oh god.
It's like when you're in a school bus and you meet the other school bus that's going into like a different route.
Yeah, there you go.
Gaming.
But both players do back off from each other. Again, Patience, a pretty nice lead so far when it comes to his base, when it comes to the Forge. Oh, going for another Robo. I mean, it makes sense he did lose his Robo that was proxied. But we'll see if he can do anything here. Oh my god, yes.
So scared. Patience is being very bold. If that Phoenix was a real Phoenix, that would have been so terrifying.
Patience, please calm down.
So scary.
Oh my god.
I'm just realizing Patience hasn't actually lost too many Warp Prisms in this tournament.
He hasn't. He was close though. Like we had a bit of a blast from the past there. Like Patience had no need to be that aggressive with that Warp Prism. Like I don't know what he was doing, mate. He was, oh god.
His older side just sort of broke free a little bit.
Yo,
Can't be
and
repressed for too long.
how much damage can be done here? Blink just about to finish up. He could blink forward and try and focus on some of these disruptors, but oh.
I think he's gonna try to do the opposite. You know, try to take out the disruptors, but always blink away when it's starting to get dicey. Confirms the third base, so goes for a third base of his own.
That he does. He also does meet up with that War Prism with the Immortals, who can trying to you know, express or try to apply some of his own pressure as he does finish up his own Robotics Bay.
He's just working on round 2. Ooh, good blink away. But that's to be careful. He blinked every single one of his stalkers. It's gonna be a little awkward to blink, and he does not want to be caught off cooldown. Oh, Patience doesn't even blink that time. And those disruptors. Purification Nova was on cooldown. One of them already getting picked off.
Oh, that they do.
Meanwhile, the Immortal. Air here. Ooh, very beautiful pick off there for Patience. Now disruptors are going down. Patience resetting the disruptor count for Zest, and now, despite that super early Robo Bay, Patience is ahead in the disruptor count.
Exactly, like Patience out-microing, out-maneuvering Zest right now. Even at the same time, he was trying to micro and drop Immortals against Immortals of Zest. And in the end, Patience came out on top, not just killing those 3 disruptors, but also that Immortal.
There's no Robo units out right now for Zest, and that is important because Patience is going straight for it. His +1 is about to finish up, and he has so much initiative for him here. It is only gateway units for Zest once again.
Yeah.
Gotta remind everyone.
Zest needs to drop his voids like the Immortals that he has are still in the War Prism.
That Purification Nova from the back lines, taking out quite a number of these stalkers. Patience ahead in the Immortal count.
Oh my god, that... Yeah, and
see how good defensive edge is gonna be.
We'll see. The thing is that there are no shield batteries here. GG gets called.
Patience taking it to the ace match. I think this just sort of proves our theory here. Like, if Zest can survive long enough to the late game, he's going to be at such an advantage. Or if Patience takes too much damage in the early game, he's going to be at an advantage. But, you know, when you get to a mid-game scenario like this, if Zest hasn't done enough damage early on, then Patience going to have the upper hand.
Exactly. And you know what? It's going as you foretold. If you recall, your score prediction was 3-2.
3-2. I didn't know who was going to win, but I thought it was going to be 3-2. And honestly, I still don't know who's going to edge this one out. Jagannatha could be either players. We've seen how both of these players play on this map. It can favor both of them, either of them.
Yeah, we've seen how these two shape up against each other and how close it is between them. Again, I was so impressed by the blink control of Patience in that final game there in game number 4.
I did not think I was gonna live to see the day I heard. I was impressed with Patience's blink control.
We're here, mate. It's happening.
Barriers are being broken, Light. Gengar from Good Game Gaming, props to you, man. Whatever you've been coaching him, it's been paying off. As we continue here for the final map in the semifinals, Jagannatha LE is how we're going to conclude this PvP. What a saga we've had. I wouldn't mind either player winning here, Light, but we'll see who ends up winning. In the bottom left-hand corner, map spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He used to represent Raise Your Edge Gaming, RYEDGE. Now he just very recently got picked up by Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is the best. He is Zest.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the other South Korean Protoss player, one of many in this tournament, one of our semi-finalists. He is here. He is representing Good Game Gaming, GGG. It is our boy. We cast him as often as we can. It is Patience.
Man, you know what? Just in case it doesn't make it to the finals, just in case I don't have this opportunity once again, just wanted to say Dragon Phoenix Gaming shaping up to be one of the most terrifying teams in StarCraft right now. Zest, Cure, Dark, and Rogue alone, or even if you don't count Rogue, Zest, Cure, and Dark, some of the best players of their respective races. Then you throw in Rogue for that additional wild card. Man,
It's such a powerful team right now, and it's great that Zest was able to eventually find a team. I know, like, there was a period of time, a couple of weeks, where he left Razor Edge Gaming and he was kind of a free agent, but was picked up in the end by DPG. It's beautiful, it's amazing. But on the flip side of things, we have Patience, kind of the wild card here in this tournament amongst all the PvPs.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit biased. I would love to see him move on to the finals.
As am I.
But like, Zest is so good as well. I
Really is. I mean, I wouldn't mind either player making it here, making it to that finals, but for the longest time, I think our viewers kind of know we are Patient supporters. We are going to be cheering for our boy, but honestly, especially in this week, it's not just for the entertainment value. It is also because we've seen how much Patience has grown in the short span of what, a month since being picked up by Good Game Gaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it hasn't been that long, and we've seen how his play has evolved over time. He was a little bit more kind of YOLO, you know. He took a lot of risks, but not in the best of ways.
Yeah.
And now we see kind of a new Patience in the beginning of 2021. I'm excited to see what happens here.
You know what it feels like? It feels like he went back to school and took like a foundational math kind of thing.
Uh-huh. He pulled the Yaku. He did it.
He did. He used to not be known for his calculations. Now it's actually working out.
Exactly. It's amazing. I love the way Sando in the chat put it. Sultana brain. Yes.
As wrinkled as you can get.
Oh god.
You know why? It's because in the brain, when you have those sort of wrinkles, it means that there's a little bit more surface area for more brain cells to sort of hang about in. It's kind of like when you have a rope, right? And you tie it up into a knot. It could be a 1 meter long rope, but you know, you tie it in and it ends up being a meter or like 10 centimeters long. But you know what? The actual mass of the rope is pretty big.
Just like your intestines. And
yeah, just like Patience.
Just like Patience's brain. Also, I didn't get to touch on it. Shout out to Santa in the chat. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten. Mate, that Romanticide game started off with a proxy behind a proxy. Like, it was, oh my god.
And the second proxy ended up getting scouted too.
Yeah, exactly. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And so, as we haven't talked much about the game, as things have been slowly picking up, when Patience initially threw down the proxy pylon on the left hand side of the map, I assumed he was going to proxy Dark Shrine. Is going for the Dark Shrine, but it's in the main.
Yeah, building it back at home, which, you know what? This goes back to the Sultana brain. Like, he knows that Zest is going to be scouting for proxies. Yeah. He hasn't yet, but he probably assumes that Zest would.
I mean, to be fair, Zest did. He actually checked. I was showing it on stream earlier. Zest checked this top left-hand base, and he missed the pylon. Like, he went all around, and he missed the pylon in the end. To be fair, the pylon was meaningless anyway. But we do see another pylon over on the right-hand side.
Oh, and that's a little bit closer to the Zest side of that. It gets scouted.
Wow.
Cannot cancel in time.
No, Patience, he's hiding the probe. Lee gets spotted.
He's making it out of there. Does not want to take that risk. Evacuating that probe.
Turn around,
Zest.
For
another
he goes home.
Another pylon. Is that gonna pull a Romanticide or Patience rather? Or apparently not.
Apparently not.
Warping in DTs slowly back at home, or quickly back at home, I should say. Still has quite a number of stalkers with him.
Yeah.
He can get stuff done. He has Blink available to him as well. But of course, Zest did defend his advantage with the Guardian Shell.
Yeah, he
shield rather.
Zest should come out on top here. Both players do have Blink as they are both blinking back as best as they can. Patience, he is forced back. But that doesn't matter because you know what? Here come the DCs, but Zest has detection.
Immediately spotted by the Observer. Gets taken out. I really like the idea for Patience here, but yeah, I guess just was not anticipating Zest to go Robo first.
Yeah, or at least go for the Observer first. Like, very often we do see players like Zest himself just pump out nothing but Immortals and forget about the Observer until later, but Zest was playing this a little bit more cautiously, a little bit more safe, and with that, now he has the advantage.
Patient.
Exactly.
That's the advantage, and he's looking to press that. Patience will have defender's edge, or defender's advantage. I just didn't want to say advantage again. And it's actually working out pretty well for him. He's able to chase Zest away. Obviously, he does have that immortal, but he is starting to lose a bit of his stalker buffer, so does not want to take too many risks when going this deep into enemy territory.
Definitely. And I'm really curious to see what Patience is going to do from here, because he knows he's behind in terms of the immortal count. Like, Patience's Robo just finished up, and like Zest has 2 immortals and a War Prism. So what is Patience's plan? Like, I wouldn't have minded if he went double Robo behind this. Instead he is going for that forge, so he need to work on his upgrades instead.
Okay. Not a bad choice by any means. I mean, he does also still have the Dark Shrine, so can get a couple of Archons to have a little bit of splash damage here, and you know, it does stack quite a bit.
There's no vision.
There's no vision. Army. There's no vision. Now there is for Zest. He comes in, depowers one of the gateways, will depower both, and this is looking like too much momentum here, Light, for Zest.
That it does. Immediately Patience focused down the War Prism of Zest, so no more Warpins, but Zest, he has so much army here, he still has an immortal, and it looks like he will be able to push on forward. GG gets called.
GG gets called. And man, I was holding out hope for Patience, but Zest proves how dominant he is in the matchup. GG is called. Zest is going to be your first finalist, I believe. Yep, first finalist of the evening. And honestly, regardless of the result here, Light, what a PvP we've had. I feel like this is going to go down as one of the most interesting PvPs in a long time. Oh yeah, I loved every second of it. Patience, so cheeky, such a big brain, going for all these different plays, and it almost worked out for him. Again, that was such a close series, had to go all the way to that ace match. I tell you what, it wasn't just the whole meme peak PvP, you know, crazy sort of builds we've seen. We've seen a couple of macro games as well from both these players, taking it to the mid game to the late game even. Oh yeah, we saw a lot of variety there, and I'm impressed with how Patience played that out. Zest, of course, went into it as the more known player, as the favorite player, I'm sure a lot of people would say, and in the end, Zest was able to get his revenge. We did hear earlier, Patience did take out Zest in a show match earlier this week, but in the rematch, Zest redeems himself. That he does. He was no longer hungover. Exactly. He was sober, and it was still close. But I will say, yeah. It was, exactly. Patience still able to make it that much closer. Or that close, rather. And now we are still going to be waiting for Zest's opponent in the finals, the grand finals, Dream versus Stats. Currently underway over on Pig's channel, twitch.tv/x5_pig. Is covering that. Looks like Stats has a little bit of the upper hand, but, you know, Dream, it's a base trade. Yeah, it is a base trade. You gotta pull out hope for him. He is a non-Protoss hope at the moment. So unless you want another PvP finals, which I don't think I wouldn't mind, especially Zest versus Stats, but it's been a while since in this tournament anyway, since we didn't have a non-PvP. In fact, our first matchup today was the only one that we casted. It was. It was the only one with the Terran player. And that was, what, 10 minutes long? It was incredibly short. If 10 minutes, if that. But as you said, congratulations to Zest. He does move on to the finals. The upper semis are currently being played out. I say currently, they just got out of game. Ooh.